I paid 25 euros for this. God, please help me. 2020 in general was a very bad year. Like, I don't think I need to elaborate on that much further. But I think if you're talking about Pokemon cards in terms of 2020, I think most people look at that year back pretty fondly. It was obviously the big Pokéboom. And for the people that don't actually know what the Pokéboom is, I've mentioned it a couple times before on the channel. Pokéboom was very simply said an exposure from a lot of big influencers to a group of audience that hadn't opened Pokemon cards in a very long time. There were a lot of influencers that opened very expensive vintage boxes that even at the time were, you know, at least a couple $1,000s up to literally millions for only one booster box. A very big group of people who hadn't opened Pokemon cards in a very long time started to actually like being exposed to Pokemon cards again, and then they realized that they wanted to open Pokemon cards again because that's what they did when they were younger. Most Pokemon cards weren't like available. Like they weren't printed for like 15 years. Like obviously you're not just going to go into a store and buy a Pokemon pack from like 2007, 2008, obviously depending on how old the person was. Yeah, the Pokéboom was the reason that Pokemon cards got so popular again. There's a very big chance that you, the viewer, got into Pokemon cards around the 2020, 2021 time. The sets that were released in 2020 are absolutely terrible. Both 2019 and 2021 and onward were so much better than 2020, and that's pretty much what we're going to talk about in this video. And yeah, fine, we're going to open this. Before we're going to do that, this happened, which I am obviously incredibly grateful for. To 100 subscribers. I've been making videos for, you know, a couple years now. To see the support not only on last week's video, but also just seeing the support in general is just absolutely fantastic. If you're not subscribed, but you do see yourself returning often on the channel, I would really appreciate a subscription. If you end up enjoying this video, I'd also really appreciate a like. That just boosts this video and boosts the channel into the algorithm, which exposes it to more people. So obviously, if you think a lot more people should watch my content, then obviously you can do either of those things, but I'm just happy that you're watching this video. So let's get into that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take out La Tablet. This is a Tab A7 from like 2019 or 20. We're gonna use this to actually get to a website that I really like. It's called Pokédata. It pretty much shows you the single price, or at least the average price of singles, so single cards on sites, for example, like eBay and TCG Player. So we're gonna look. No, I don't want to update. God Christ. God, it's such a fantastic high-res screen, oh my god. To explain to you how bad 2020 was in terms of sets released, I need to explain to you how good 2019 was. If you don't know, 2019 was the year of Tag Team, and if you don't know what Tag Team is, I'm gonna show you very quickly. These are Tag Team cards, and it's very simply explained, multiple Pokemon on one card. Wow, you wouldn't have guessed that. Obviously, this is a good idea. Like, you can make a lot of very good combinations of, like, different Pokemon. I chose this Magikarp and Wailord card, but this is also one of the first times, if it wasn't the actual first time, that like alternate arts or like alternative artwork cards were actually released, which also ended up being very important for Pokemon cards. We're gonna get into that later. Yeah, they look fantastic. They have fantastic artworks. Here are a couple ones. I'm not going to go over all of them. Here are a couple cool ones so you can see. That's what it ended with. So keep that in mind when we actually get into the 2020 section of this video. Obviously, in 2019, the Sword and Shield game was released, which pretty much always means that the next year will have, you know, the start of that video game. February 2020, we got the first set, Sword and Shield base. It's fine. Among the 2020 sets, it is the most average out of all of them. You know, this Marnie is pretty good looking. No, not that. No, this Marnie card is like pretty decent. You know, it's worth like 35 bucks. It's whatever. This Snorlax card is like easily one of the better cards. And mind you, this is just a regular VMAX. There's no alternate arts in 2020. In any set in 2020. The first set that had alternate arts was Battle Styles. I am not kidding when I say that. These were some of the first alternate arts. That's really funny. Like, 2020 doesn't have alternate arts, and I think this is where the biggest mistake of Sword and Shield base set pretty much comes out to. I think nowadays with like Scarlet and Violet, we are spoiled. The cards that you're 100% going to get in a set pretty much determines how good they are going to be. If you know that you're going to get at least 4 to 5 alternate arts in a set, it can never really truly be terrible. Like V and V Maxes were just the like biggest cards of a set. There are some other cards that I think are good, but it doesn't really stand out in anything, and I think that's going to be the pattern you're going to see. Oh no. Oh god, no, please, no, please. For Rebel Clash, I need to explain something for you very quickly. To explain to you the 3 things that in my opinion make a good set, I think Rebel Clash is a very good example on how to show a bad example on those 3 things. But what are those 3 things? Let me explain to you. Number 1, the look of the set, the graphic design, and I think indirectly, if you have a move implemented in the name or in the colors, how that move like dictates how the set looks. This is the Rebel Clash logo. I don't think I need to tell you more. So that is the first thing that, in my opinion, is, a thing that dictates a set. The feeling needs to be good. The name needs to be good. Everything needs to, like, fit in place. But in my opinion, these are things that you don't really need to be thinking about. Number 2, mascots. What are mascots, you say? These. Literally the things you just plastered on the front of your product. For Brilliant Stars, off the top of my head, it's like Charizard and Arceus, I think it was. Obviously for Evolved Skies, you had Rayquaza, Duraludon, Umbreon, and Sylveon, so forth. I think that is one of the most important things that a set can have, because if you nail the mascots of a set, it doesn't really matter how good or bad the other Pokemon in a set are going to be. Mind you that obviously the mascots always have the biggest cards in a set. Like that's pretty much always going to be the case. Even nowadays, if a Pokemon is on the front, it usually has a special illustration rare or a big illustration rare or whatever the hell. The third thing are the cards themselves. It's not as easily explainable as the first 2 points, but the cards themselves are everything around the mascots. Does it have like a little fun cards like those Radiant cards you have in like Crown Zenith, or some other cards that you have? Those cards are still going to be fun to look back at, or it can even rise in price if it becomes like one of those bigger investment worthy sets. Not a single one of these three things are done well with Rebel Clash, and the fun part is it's not even the worst set that came out this year, in my opinion, but we're going to talk about that later. This is the most expensive card in Rebel Clash, and it's worth $35. The only thing of worth that Rebel Clash actually has are the fact that there's actually a pretty decent amount of somewhat expensive full arts. It has this Sonia. That's a pretty good looking card. Like the Boss's Orders, I think it's just because it's Boss's Orders. It's a very average looking full art, but it's still fine. It's such a nothing set, unfortunately. I have nothing to say. Nothing to say about Rebel Clash. Darkness Ablaze is one of the worst sets ever made. Obviously, those 3 rules that I just explained are whatever, but I think the 4th, unwritten rule is what I earlier told you, that the format of a set needs to be solid, otherwise, it doesn't really matter. This is the biggest evidence of that, because having a regular Charizard VMAX as your most expensive card, I think says a lot. This Rillaboom Secret Rare is actually a really good looking card in my opinion. Breeder nurturing card, which is super cute and fun. Champion's Path might be the best set of the year. Yep. That might be the case. It's one of those things that I hate to admit to you, but it probably actually is. It has this fantastic looking Charizard V Secret Rare, which I think is one of the most expensive cards from this year, together with the VMAX Secret Rare. Why is this Charizard VMAX Rainbow Rare not in Darkness Ablaze? It would have been fine to have this be the biggest card, like this Charizard V Secret Rare. I really like this Dreadnought VMAX. That's really fun. They have a very realistic looking art style. I think this Gardevoir VMAX is the best example of that. But, I'm literally just scraping the bottom at this point. There really is not much more than the other sets that I can really talk about. You want to know something? Vivid Voltage is the actual best set of the year. Apparently, the Charizard V is the most expensive card of the year. I thought it was this Pikachu VMAX. It unfortunately isn't. Really, really good looking full art. I might actually buy that. Wow, $9 is literally nothing. I might actually buy that at one point. Amazing Rares. I don't think it's the only set with Amazing Rares, but it might also actually be. Like this Rayquaza I have in my collection actually, and it's a really good looking card. There is probably the most to scrape off the bottom for this one. I think I made my point here. Let's actually open the 3-pack blister. Oh, that actually went pretty well. Oh god, oh shit. Oh my god. I definitely didn't already open this without looking if I was actually recording. I'm such an idiot. But it doesn't matter. I haven't opened the packs yet. That is the thing that matters. Because it's Rebel. Let's get the promo out. The only thing of worth of value here. Actually, good looking promo. Actually, seriously. Let's do the this one first. I don't know what we're trying for. I have no idea what I actually would want. We have a Clefairy. We have a Voltorb. A Growlithe. A Dreepy. A Snover, good looking card, I like that. We have for the reverse, the Pokeball. I'm just straight gonna get into it. Oh my god. There's actually no way. A full art inside of a Rebel Clash pack. Oh god, that is so funny. Worth as much as this card, probably. If this one is playable, it's probably worth more. Sonia, Bronzong, wow, really good looking Scyther, a Vullaby, a Dreepy, a Magmar, a Yamask, Reverse Magikarp, And then, wow, this is a pretty stacked 3-pack blister. You know, at least I get good pulls. And the last pack, we have another good code card. Oh my. We have a Phalanx, Masquerain. What the hell is this? A Growlithe, a Dreepy, a Snover. That seems familiar. I've had that pattern before. Butterfree, and actually a Holo. Wow. That's actually insane. 3 hits out of 3 packs in the Rebel Clash 3-pack blister. I hope you enjoyed this video. I would really appreciate a like on this video if you end up enjoying it. I would really appreciate a subscription to the channel if you see yourself returning often. Every single 9 days is a brand new video. If you can't count to 9 and you want to still keep track of when I upload, you can hit the notification bell so you get a message like on your device, on your phone, whatever, whenever I upload. Thank you for watching.